this is what I believe, Chris. Many people plateau. They do all of this that I just mentioned. They believe he wants to have a fellowship with them, communion with them. They begin to not view him as a power, but as a person.
Mm.
They begin to feed themselves on the information about the Holy Spirit. Then they begin to talk to him. And this is where the rubber meets the road. It's when he starts speaking
Yeah.
things you don't want to hear.
Mm.
If you see, fellowship gets the relationship. Obedience gets you the friendship.
Oh, that's so good.
Fellowship starts the relationship, but friendship is only reserved for the obedient. You know what Jesus said in John 15:14? He says, you are my friends. And you would think it would say, because you fellowship with me 3 years. He says, because you do what I tell you. Now,
Wow.
I don't know, Chris, about you, but if I would come to my friends and I would say, hey guys, you're my friends. Why? You always do what I say. Yeah, that would be kind of like,
Yeah.
weird. But his world is different. So people who walk around and say, I'm a friend with the Holy Spirit because I fellowship with the Holy Spirit, that is not actually biblically very accurate.
Right.
Because Abraham was called a friend of God because of his obedience. It wasn't because of his fellowship. Fellowship gets you into the room, but it's the obedience that unlocks the treasures. And so what started to happen to me, and this is what I've noticed, at one time I plateaued and I said, Lord, I went deeper fasting. And he said, fasting is not the key. He says, even more prayer is not the key. He says, when I speak, you have to obey. And I was like, but I'm not comfortable to, like some of the things, Lord, you ask are too hard. He says, if you stay obedient, he says, you will always grow in relationship with me and intimacy with me. And sometimes that obedience, the Lord in obedience, the Holy Spirit will go specifically for the things that are dearest to your heart, because he wants to be your dearest friend. And he cannot be your dearest friend if you got idols and you don't realize you have idols until the things he asks, you begin to resent and you say, no, I can't do that. I don't want to do that. It's too much. I'm too afraid. It's too risky. I don't want to forgive this person. I don't want to give this thing. I don't want to fast. I don't want to pray. And so as you begin to fellowship, he begins to speak. And as he speaks, when you act, you begin to see the depth going deeper, and you're spending exactly the same amount of time, but the depth is different. You fast exactly the same time. The depth is different. And people come in, they're like, what are you doing different? Obedience.